good people. Good day. How are you? This is David Thompson, your friendly neighborhood Forex trader. I'm the owner of Thompson Capitals and founder, CEO and founder of Thompson Capitals and chief mentor at the Forex Mentorship Program, FXMP. Now, I've been having some technical difficulties today. I am still having some technical difficulties today. But like with all things with life, there are challenges and we overcome. So those difficulties are not going to stop me from doing my video today for you. I actually had to change the whole program. What I'm going to do today is not initially what I intended to do for you, but nonetheless, you're going to get some valuable content. So without further ado, I'll get straight into it. Allow me to share a screen with you. Today, we're going to be looking at the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. All right. Now, I did share, some info on this pair last week in my Patreon and on some of my social channels. All right. I'll leave some information to links to those channels in the description to this video. All right. Now, most times when I come to the charts, guys, to do these videos, it's going to be freestyle, right? I don't usually prep my charts and so on for the videos. So when we come on to the charts, you're going to be tuning into the charts from wherever I would have left off. All right. Now I have not updated the chart for the Canadian Japanese yen from since I did the last screenshot to share with the socials and the Patreon and so on. Because, I mean, as I always say, this requires patience. And most times as a Forex trader is spent waiting. All right. So this is the perspective of the Canadian Japanese yen chart I would have shared last week. Right. The 1 hour time frame, sorry. Right. So we were just below the support area here, right? Testing the area as resistance, right? Just below the downtrend line, right? Now, this is the 1 hour time frame. This is where we were. Price was below here, where we have the green arrow pointing downwards here, because this was a possibility that market could have fell. And then we had the second option, right? Or possibility, the projection upwards for the bullish move, right? Now, in my description to the chart that I shared, I would have mentioned that I was long-term looking at the Canadian Japanese yen for a bullish move, but we would have had to see price break above this structure here, which was a previous support, right? As is highlighted here, this area of support, right? But where we were was down below this area here, testing as resistance, right? As I highlighted here, we have this area of support and resistance. So what we saw happen was price broke above. We had a little breakout here that wasn't too significant, and then price fell back below the structure, right? Below the support structure, and we had an aggressive move here, right? And this will probably signify that there was some fear in the market. There is fear in the market, right? As we can see, what is happening even with the cryptocurrency market right now. Right now, I'll do another video on that, explaining some of the possibilities as to why we are seeing so much red in the crypto market. Right, that's another video I'll do, so look out for that. Right, so we can see here that we broke out above from when I shared my last content pertaining to this currency pair. You can see that we got the breakout above. Not significant. We fell below. Now we have another breakout. Now this other breakout is more synonymous with what I was expecting to see happen here, right? In order to consider a play for a bullish move. So we can see I had the tool here drawn with the breakout and the test, right? So we have the breakout. Let me just draw that so you can see we have the breakout here, right? Wrong tool. Let me remove this and draw a new one for you, right? So we can track the move. So let's track this move. So we fell below here, right? We got a breakout above, right? Then we came back down and we tested. Now, mind you, I missed this opportunity to buy, right? So this would have been an ideal opportunity to buy based on what we are seeing happening here on the 1 hour time frame. Right now, I'll go back to the daily and clarify why this would be significant moving forward. Right. So we pull back, here, we got the test, and now we can see price pushing upwards. Right. Now this tool that I just drew here, right? We can see it was the same thing that I had before plotted, all right? So what we can see happening here is possibly the bulls grabbing control of this currency pair again. Now, this move is also synonymous with what is happening with crude oil at this point in time, right? Now, what the price of crude oil usually affects what happens with the value of the Canadian dollar, because what most people don't know, right, is that Canada is one of the top suppliers of oil, of course, to certain parts of the world, right? A lot of people don't know that. So when we have the price of oil increase, you would usually find that the value of the Canadian dollar will also increase. When the price of oil decreases, the value of the Canadian dollar will also decrease, and then you would be most likely trading against the Canadian dollar on the forex market. Whereas in this instance, with the value of oil, the price of oil, which has been increasing over the past few days, you would be trading the Canadian dollar, you'll be buying the Canadian dollar against other currency pairs, right? Which is in this example here, you'll be buying or thinking of buying the Canadian dollar against the Japanese yen. Right now, I need to get into the habit of prefacing my videos by stating that I am not your financial advisor. Okay, so whatever information I give in my videos should not be taken as advice or indication to buy, sell, or hold any particular currency or fiat currency or cryptocurrency, as it will. All right. And so with that said, I'm going to switch to the daily time frame now, right? Because as you would know, as I always say, I use a top-down analysis, which means that I analyze my charts from the larger time frames and coming down, right? And we will see that I had a downtrend line here, right? Which we were monitoring the downtrend before we started buying, right? Because I told you that long term I'm bullish. So let me clear the charts. I remove all my drawings. I remove all my drawings and indicators so we can get a bird's eye view of what is happening on the daily here. All right. So what we have on the daily, sorry, I am making an error. I did not delete the tools. Right, there we go. Now I deleted the tools. My apologies. So I'm going to replace this downtrend line that I had here, right, where we got the break on the daily. And of course, usually after we get the break, we would want to see a test of the structure. All right. So we got a little baby test there. I mean, the market broke aggressively. This uptrend was quite strong. So we didn't get a major test or any sort of major consolidation. Maybe on the smaller time frames, you would have gotten some, this would show us consolidation here, but we can see that we got almost a parabolic move, bullish move there. All right. So where we are at now, okay, is interesting because on the 1 hour time frame, I identified where we could have gotten some buying opportunity there, earlier buying opportunity, which I missed, right? So we're at a point here now where we made a high and then we made a little pullback. So we can plot a downtrend line here again, right? And the daily says that we're still waiting for a break, right? The daily also says that we have a little channel here, right? So ultimately, we want to wait until we get a break out of the channel. Now, if you look at the stochastic is just above, it's above the 50% level, which is a good sign for a bullish move, right? And it still seems to be, geared towards making a higher move. So on the daily time frame, I will be monitoring to see how this daily candlestick closes, right? And maybe on the 4 hour, we'll take a look at the 4 hour and see what it looks like. Right? We'll be looking to see the test of the structure of the channel once it breaks above the channel, right? And then we'll be looking for a buy position on that area where we get the test before we start placing our buy orders for that bullish move, right? Because you want to be ready when the bulls grab a hold of this currency pair again. So guys, we have the Canadian Japanese yen pair. This is the daily. You can identify that we have a long-term bullish move happening here still. All right. And we can also identify that we're currently trading a downward channel, right? This would be a micro move, although on the daily time frame it has been trading bearish for some time, right? You have a few weeks here. If we check the candlestick, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. So we have a little over 3 weeks of bearish movement on this currency pair here, guys. The bears have been playing a mass, as we were saying in local parlance in my country. They've been playing a mass here, and that is basically indicative of the fear that has been in the market, because the Japanese yen is a safe haven pair. So when there's fear in the market, you find a lot of folks would gravitate towards the Japanese yen. All right. So let's go down now to the 4 hour before we wrap up this video on the Canadian Japanese yen. It's pretty straightforward from a technical analysis point of view. And it's interesting. This is beautiful, man. I love forex trading, and I love surfing the charts and analyzing the charts, guys. You know, I mean, this is something to learn about me, as a matter of fact. So you can see that based on what I just plotted on the daily, we can see that on the 4 hour, the current 4 hour candlestick, is currently breaking structure right here. All right, so we can see that based on my top-down analysis, starting with the daily in this instance, we can see that we would most likely get the play that I am anticipating, which will be the breakout of the structure. Then we'll be looking for a pullback to test the structure, right? This is good to cement or stabilize the analysis, the bullish analysis in this current scenario here, right? So we can see that on the current 4 hour, as I said, we get in the break above. We want to wait for the test, and then we'll be looking to place a buy, hopefully in that area. Once we get so this area where I have the ellipsis here is where we'll be looking to get a possible buy. All right. Yeah, guys. So tell me what you think in the comments. What do you think is going to happen with the Canadian Japanese yen? Do you think we're going to get that think we're going to get a buy here? Or you think the fear in the market is going to be too much? We're going to get some increased fears, and then we're going to probably fall back down within the channel. Because that is also a possibility, yeah? Right? Nothing is certain in the Forex markets, right? We can still get some induced fear and still see price fall from where we're at, right? Back down in the channel here to this bottom level. And then on the smaller time frames, people who trade the smaller time frames at the 30 minutes and the 15 minutes, they would be, you know, they're rubbing their hands for those types of moves, because those are small moves, but they are moves that can be capitalized if you trade the smaller time frame. If you, you know, a scalper, if you're a scalp trader. I'm not a scalp trader. I find it's for me personally, it's a more risky strategy. I have modeled my strategy for a more long term. So I would do swing trading, you know, I'll do some day trading from time to time. But guys, this is where we're at with the Canadian Japanese yen. Are the bulls going to grab a hold of this currency pair and take it further up? Let's wait and see. Today is Wednesday. It's one of the more volatile, or one of the days where you get a lot more volume. It's what is considered as a top trading day. Wednesday and Thursdays are what we consider the real trading days. That's when the market really starts to push on in whichever direction it decides that it wants to go. So if you get the breakout here during the course of this day, if this candle closes above here, then the next fall candle will probably push it a little bit higher. So I mean, all here, I mean, some traders would probably be looking to place buy orders here with the close of this candle above this order, above this structure, sorry. But I would tend to wait a little bit longer because, like I always say, it requires patience. We can't have success trading the Forex market if we do not have patience. I can't say it enough, guys. It is one of the most important attributes to being a successful Forex trader. If you want to be a successful Forex trader and you cannot implement patience as part of your strategy, then you're most likely setting yourself up to lose money. Okay, good folks. So I'll wrap it up here now with my analysis of the Canadian dollar Japanese yen for today. I hope that you got any sort of value from this video. If you're keeping your eyes on the Canadian Japanese yen, I pretty much just gave you the roadmap of what to do, what to expect, and the fact that you need to be patient. Okay, guys? So take care. See you on my next video, and look out for a top-up or a recap of this currency pair and where we would have gone to by that point in time, whether the move would have continued bullish or whether we had a fall back into the channel. Okay, guys? David out.